Welcome back to Optimum Live, episode 24. It is December, but we didn't just want to do a typical Christmas one. This one's called Christmas Musings of New Year Business Plans. We all do it after that Christmas day, and it's that lull. We start getting creative. So join us as Mike talks us through the things that we should think about during that time. So welcome back to Optimum Life. And it is, Mike, I've already said it's you that's joined me. Greetings, sir.
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. This was your idea for this episode, and I thought it was a great one because as soon as you suggested it, it rang true. I'm still in the excited / terrified I'm not organised about Christmas at the moment. But I don't know, what does it say, Boxing Day or maybe the day after Boxing Day, you're in a slump. Food coma.
Yeah, definitely.
But the mind, as a business owner, the mind starts getting creative.
Yeah, that's it. It's one of those periods of the year, or the only time of the year, where most businesses stop. So that's their customers have perhaps stop emailing or querying, sending orders through. Suppliers have stopped. Staff are at home having their Christmas. So the emails are generally quiet. The phone stops ringing. And then once you finish building all the Lego sets after Christmas, you start just sat, just having a cup of tea one morning, not rushing to get to the office, get to the warehouse. And you just start thinking, and those ideas that start coming out around that's that period of time because you've been able to stop.
Yeah, exactly. Sat there, I'm picturing myself. I'm going to do it. I know I will. Sat there with a Baileys in hand, or a Bucks Fizz if it's early. I mean, early afternoon, I meant, obviously. And you do. And it's not just creativity. There's possibly, a melancholy, that makes you quite pensive. And it's just as important to have a think about what maybe isn't working quite right. How can we change it? So you've got to sort of think of it both ways.
Yeah, it's just that period of reflection and period of what was working, what hasn't worked in the year, and then what you're going to do about it next year. Because I don't think there's many businesses that do the same thing year after year. Something changes, whether that's home life gets more expensive as the kids get older, or maybe they've moved out, so the pressure at home for that is less, so therefore the business can take a different turn to not be money focused perhaps. It could be more time orientated. There might be a new member, like a new baby come in that actually makes you go, no, I'm slowing things down, what worked, what helped for that. And so it's that period of reflection back on the year, and you only ever do it when you stop. I say to a lot of clients, like, book some time once a week, once a fortnight to go sit in a coffee shop on your own for an hour, just to stop, turn your phone off, turn your emails off, and just sit with a notepad and see what comes out. Because it's that stopping the distraction, the emails and the phone calls. I say it to everyone. I don't do it all the time, but there is a period I used to do it with my daughter's gymnastics. I'd go sit, it'd be a couple hours, and you just sit in the coffee shop and just sit with my notebook and just dawdle and just see what comes out that goes, oh, actually, I've forgotten about that, or how about doing it this way? But it's taken that into something a bit more at Christmas where there's definite downtime. I don't want people to be thinking, oh, now it's Christmas, I've got to think about work. Because if you don't, you don't. Correct. But a lot of people do. Yeah. So if you are, it's the things that they're all, January, people coming back in January, and I get loads of emails and new business startups. I've been thinking of this, I've been thinking of that. So it's not that I'm telling them to do that. They're all doing it. Yeah. Those people are doing it. I do switch off for quite a few of those days. It might get to the 30th for me until I go, actually, now I've got a period that I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah, all the snacks have run out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the cider stash is getting a bit low. I'm thinking I'm having to get outside and get some exercise.
You've got to go and see people. And I mean, I've made a note of your thing about stop and think once a week, once a fortnight, whatever it might be. I don't do that. I'm so hectic all the time. And do you know what? I think I am missing something there. And I like your comment in that you're not saying, right, you should do this during this period. We do it, we start thinking, so therefore embrace it properly. If you find yourself suddenly doing it, grab that notebook. I tell you what my wife's got for me. I've got a book that stays by the side of my bed that says on the cover, things I thought about whilst I was sleeping. Because I used to wake up early hours of the morning with either a problem or an idea, and that was it. Couldn't get back to sleep.
Yep.
But they reckon that if you just go, right, write that down, close it, you've got everything you need to pick, because I'm always terrified I'm going to forget the next day.
Exactly. I'm the same, so I email my work phone.
Oh, okay.
So I literally email myself, right, I go to sleep. Deb
you do, don't you? It's off the head then.
Deb will come in the morning, there could be, when I've had a busy night, there'll be a load of emails there, all from myself, and she's like, did you get much sleep last night? I was like, yeah, I did all right, actually, but I did get these ideas.
And I think that that's the nature probably in this period sort of between that Christmas and New Year, is allow it to happen, but grab a pad, grab something, make a note of it, brainstorm off of that maybe, and then put it away and get back to the family, the fitness, the whatever you choose it to be. Because I find that there's a second stage to that, is that when we come back at the beginning of January, as a team, we then bring those ideas that have percolated through that period.
Everyone's had, that's it. It's not just business owners. The staff will have had some ideas.
Absolutely.
I thought about changing this. This got really annoying with me last year, and I was thinking this is how we could fix it. So it's actually embracing that as well and getting everyone together as that new start of going, right, have a good time, Christmas, get all that, and go, and just finding out what people thought over that period. Because
it's when we can be our most creative, I think, when we've got that freedom and time.
Because it's time and it's gone quiet. And people have paused for a moment. And I do think that is the key bit, is that's the characteristic that we should have probably several times during the year, but we definitely get it the once.
I think you're right, because the summer holiday, it's all spread out when people are doing it. So it's not all at the same time. And then when I go on holiday, I try not to very much, but I'm still, looking at emails and sorting a couple of bits and pieces out. A lot less. Yeah. But I still am, so we never fully stop. Whereas, like, you're absolutely right, Christmas is the one time where, generally speaking, it's stopped.
Yeah, things have stopped, and you're not, so on holiday, you're at a hotel, you're at the beach, so there are things still to do. Yeah. You might be chilled and you're away from work, whereas Christmas is just about your winter walks, seeing your family, having a drink.
Christmassy now.
Yeah, that's it. I can't wait. I love it, and I it's the build up for me with the young kids on Christmas Eve, all the way through, the excitement and stuff. So I love it, because as well, it's backed up with, you can have that good family time because everything's stopped.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why I've gone with this, but my brain does this where it suddenly goes, oh, squirrel. Eggnog. Have you ever had eggnog?
No.
I don't know why I brought that up, but I was just picturing.
What's the drink that goes in it? Is it Kahlua? Kahlua into eggnog? Is that?
I can't remember. I don't know whether.
I only ever drank Kahlua when I was at uni, making weird and horrible cocktails. But no, that's not. No,
we're just glad that mobile phones and social media wasn't about in those days for us.
No, it was just about.
Oh, was it? I got away with it.
Yeah, I know I don't look it, but I'm a little bit younger.
Wow. No, good point. You are. Yeah. So I got away with it. So it's all top secret. Obviously, it's quite an interesting one, this one as well, is that Christmas Day is on the Thursday, Christmas Eve, the Wednesday, Boxing Day, the Friday. So we've still got a little bit in the week leading up to it. Not always the most productive of weeks, let's not lie. But it is that opportunity, I also find, before we get into that sort of like post-Christmas of coming up with ideas for the New Year's, is a great, what do I call it, housekeeping period as well. Yeah. Where you're tidying up the odds and sods. Yep. Or as the kids say, 6, 7.
Yeah. My little 4-year-old could just see him sat there now doing it, yeah.
Get rid of a bit of everything, which we're doing a lot. And I've got to say, it's been really useful and cathartic that all these little niggly bits that were being put off, and it's like, get those done.
Because there's hard deadlines. You get it done before Christmas, you don't want it lingering afterwards. You want to come back with it. And they're always the ones that you actually sit and do, and it took 5 minutes to do, but you've been putting off for a month.
It just gets bigger in your head, doesn't it? Last episode of Optimum Live was obviously reviewing the autumn budget. Without bringing the mood down in this festive episode, is that's another reason why I think a lot of people are going to think about things over, in that downtime period, because a number, not all, a number of those things will be coming in place next year.
Yeah, that's it, from April. So it might be, so naturally for us, we always look towards the forecast and the cash flow, seeing where the business needs to be, where it's likely to be, where you want it to be, and hopefully the three all line up, right? It's interesting. I've been doing it with a client recently, and the want and need to be are very different to the likely to be.
Oh.
And so actually by having those three, it does open up those conversations. Now, that sort of level of detail is not going to happen between Christmas and New Year. However, the thoughts of where you want it to be possibly will be. So that when you come back into the new year and the email comes into the inbox for us, it goes, right, been thinking about it. This is what I want to be able to do next year or this year for 2026. New start, new changes, freshen things up. And it's taking those ideas and then pushing it into these forecasts and going, right, if you want to be able to do this, whether it's 4 days a week, whether it's to earn another 10 grand a year, this is what you're going to need to do each month, each year. Let's have a gradual build up towards it, see where it ends up. And then that starts that process of just having a review of the accounts and looking forward, not looking backwards, always looking forward. You only look, in my view, you only look backwards to reflect on what you attempted to do and what actually turned out, so that you know on a forecast how likely it is. So if someone turns to me and go, I'm going to do 100 grand next year turnover. Brilliant. What did you do last year? 20. What did you think you were going to do? I thought I was going to do 100 grand. Okay. So the 100 grand this year is quite unlikely then, unless there was something major. But so it's kind of, that's what I use the looking back for. But it's more important where you're going.
Yeah, adding a rationale to the look back. What happened? Why did it happen? Because that narrative can have an impact on that forecast. And for me, the big thing I'm picking up there from this part of the discussion is when I start percolating, when I start noting ideas down, heaven forbid worries down, or good changes, enforced changes, whatever we think it might be, don't do the paralysis by analysis. Get them down, get the thoughts down. If you're equipped to be able to take that further, fine. But I'm like there going, I know what my limit is. And so for me, it would be like, right, note it down. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I think needs to happen. This is what I need to happen, want to happen, as you said, to then come and speak to you guys that are able to sort of like join the dots together behind of, can we, should we, how will we?
Most business owners will know what's working and what's not, just by gut.
But not necessarily always why and how it can be changed.
No, but just that there is something that needs attention. And it might be that they know a certain member of staff isn't quite doing what it should be, or one's doing more than it's expected.
Or you don't have enough, or too many.
And it's just that balance between the two. And there'll be something, and it'll go, help me understand what is and isn't working over here. I think it's this. And it just gives us an angle to go towards, sort of a light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's that wood for the trees, is that you're not even just with your financial expertise. And I've always said you guys are very much about business advisors, not just, accountants. And so to be able to be that external set of eyes, that I as a business owner can be going, this isn't working, or I need to be able to do that, or I'm really excited because I think this will work. And you stood back, are able to take that objective, non-biased view, which isn't always you going, thy will or won't be done. It can create that conversation that then makes it happen with backed up by figures.
Exactly that. And it's also remembering that for each client, a problem is different.
Yes.
Someone else could be in the same position And where one person doesn't like something or sees an opportunity is not where someone else will. And it comes down to, again, what everyone's after. Some people might look at it as purely on a monetary basis. Some of them might work with it on the qualitative factors. So you need to understand what the client is wanting. And that's where those ideas, that sort of notepad by the side of the bed idea, helps to build what it is someone wants from the business. I speak to my best mate most days about the business and his business and everything that's going on. And we talk through things so that it creates a sounding board, but it also, like, we're working out, he'll go, this is a problem. I can't get out of this problem. And I'll look at it and go, but it really isn't. Because what's the worst that's going to happen? If you fix it, what's the best that's going to come from? Not a lot's going to change. And we're able to talk quite frank with each other. And there's times where I go, just leave that. It doesn't matter. And where he was getting fixated on it, because to him it felt like it was, having that objective view as well, made it realise, oh, actually, yeah, no, it is okay.
I get that regularly, I think, running the business, where I think it falls into overwhelm. I think it probably falls into that bucket, doesn't it? Where you kind of, everything is there, and then suddenly there's this little bit here that, because of everything else being there, is that it makes it feel so much bigger. Yeah. That's why the things like the walks and what have you for the rest of the year as well, is that you get to just separate them out. And that whole notion of, you finished your Christmas dinners, you're drinking. Well, no, probably haven't finished that, but you just.
I've seen what's in the in-laws cupboards for Christmas. I'm good. I'm going to be sorted for a while.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And we're sort of just keeping the undercoat on there, ready for New Year celebrations, of course, as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, grab that pad. Don't feel you have to. I think I want to re-emphasize your narrative on that. Don't feel you have to.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But if there's things start sparking, positive or negative, grab a pad, note them down. Don't get to necessarily feel you got to get to a conclusion in those thought processes, but be the basis of conversations in the new year. I find New Year as well, I don't know, as I've got older, it used to be great fun as a late teenager and in my 20s. Now I find it a weird phrase I'm going to use now, considering what happens, but a sobering period where it isn't always the most positive.
No, but then you turn the page, start a new calendar, starts a new year, and it's that fresh notebook. Yeah. Okay, let's start off neatly. Let's start off somewhere where we want to go. And it's just that sort of it's an excuse to go, let's freshen things up. Yeah. Let's change things. And there are the cliche ones of New Year, New Start. Let's go to the gym. Let's go do this. I'm never going to get into it.
Gyms are packed in January.
Yeah. I never want to go down that route, but it's just going, hang on, there'll be things that have been bugging you. There's things that you can turn into a positive, just literally just start a new calendar, start fresh and go, right, let's have an opportunity to look at things differently. Yeah. And it might be that things don't need to be changed. Fantastic. But just have a quick chat. We do it. So we'll travel around to see some family, and we've got little Yoto players and stuff for the kids. So they sit in the back with the headphones on. The way we get without car journeys, without any arguments. But then that's just me and Ruby then sat in the car on our own quietly, because the kids are just in their own little world listening to whatever, Lightning McQueen or whatever. Yeah. And we'll chat about the toy shop for her, talk about Optimum for me, and we'll just chat about stuff, because you just got that time, because you're just driving 2 hours to go see some family. Yeah. Which is that 2 hour, again, you'll find all these little spaces, when you don't expect to.
And a lot of very emotive TV is on as well, I find, whether it's movies, whether it's series, whatever it is. Great entertainment, but some of it can be very emotive. And I find, I'm going to use the word inspirational, but I don't always mean that in the, let's go kind of way. It can just make you kind of go, wow, do you know what? I think I had it last year. I needed to spend more time with my family than working too hard. I don't think I managed to change it this year. But that'll be one that will come out. And it's like, there's a business plan as well, isn't it? Right. How can I get the balance right? Yep. And most of us business owners don't.
No, it's I've gone through the same thing, and I've got to a good balance with things. Yeah, over the last few months, and it's been really nice actually, because you can see the benefits of getting it right. And
So it is possible.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we're fortunate we've had some good hires. You've got some good hires, so it's just, and that just then needs time.
Yeah.
And for us, it's just a time for everyone to settle in and understand my mad way of thinking.
Yeah. Good gosh.
Yeah. So,
but they're like, for example, I know that's going to be a big one for me this winter. This festive period is okay. The hires I've done so far were if you like the obvious hires, as in the obvious roles, but there is work that I'm doing that going, hang on, I could do with that not being me. Isn't the existing hires, because that's not their role. They're more on the production side, etc. And I want someone that would do it better than me as well. So not just relieving it. So I then start thinking, okay, what does that look like? What would that person be? Is it full-time? Is it part-time? Is it outsourcing?
The other way of looking at it as well is, with that sort of starting afresh, do all those things need doing? Or are you just doing it because you've been doing it for a year or two?
Wow.
Like half the time, I bet you look at a thing on your list and it's been on your to-do list for 2 months. So if it's still on there, does it actually need doing? So then you look at a fresh thing and going, actually, do you need to do those things? Or actually, are you chasing something that the outcome isn't going to be any different?
Yeah.
It might be nice. It might be a bit more streamlined. It might be a bit straight edged or whatever. But is it actually going to change the other things that you're aiming to get? Because if not, that point of refreshing, of going, I constantly chase to do that. And it might be networking with a couple of different groups. It might be making sure that you do, I don't know, a bit of admin, a bit of this, a bit of that. But if the outcome isn't going to change anything, and it doesn't tick any boxes for yourself in the fact that it was a benefit to you or to the business or so, then also it's that time to look at it and go, is it actually worth it? That's
a really interesting one. I think that's been a real ping moment for me, because I'd never really thought about it. Equally, there is systemizing or automation, things like that you kind of go, well, actually, is it definitely an additional person that I need, or is it actually some streamlining internally?
Yeah. I had someone today give me their 90-day plan of where they want, like in quite a large firm in the finance function, of all the things they want to change over the next 90 days. And some of it was just like keywords and bits, but like a couple of them, it's like, but why? Why do you want to change that? What are you aiming to get from there? It sounds a nice thing to do, to get this all nice and perfect, but why? Well, what is the benefit? And he looked at it and went, I don't know, actually. I just thought we needed to, and it's that, and so that you can do that yourself in this period where you're just thinking of things through, and you're going, right, actually, what things do I want to be doing in the new year? What things should I? And it's just cross that.
That's a two-phased one on that, I see, is that, me and my wife will probably do that. She'll be delighted when she finds that out.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah. But equally, those that then sit on the list is that you're still there as the sounding board, you guys, that could still remove it or add it back in, or find alternative ways to do it, etc. You're sounding board with, and of course you guys are always going to have a very different perspective to the person running the, pogo stick manufacturer or whatever on earth it might be. Showed my age there again, didn't I?
I was trying to turn it into a joke.
Yeah.
I had too many springing ideas.
Yeah,
no, terrible.
Gosh, and we haven't even got the eggnog on the go. No. We were tempted. What was it? I think it was one of the
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
One of our first ones. Yeah, with a beer and
remotely.
A Christmas jumper.
It had to be remotely. We were all working from home. Christmas jumper and a can of beer. Yeah, it was good. We resisted this time because it's still too busy at the minute. You've obviously, we mentioned episode 15 where we talk about starting up a business. You've also got on your blog from around March time, your blog page on the optps.co.uk, there is starting a new business, what you need to know. Plenty of advice so that if people, and it doesn't give all the answers straight away, does it? But it's about getting us thinking. And I like the way you've done it in the fact that there's some hard facts, there's legal and financial things that need to be considered. You would make us just, are you sure, kind of thing, but equally very supportive. You are very supportive at people starting their new ideas.
I love it when people come along. I've just gone into business. Someone said that to speak to you because you help us understand. Now, when I came over to Swindon 8 years ago, picked up a client base who was essentially, just tell me where to sign. Yeah. And I was like, no. Give me 5 minutes minimum just to try and explain what it is you're signing. Let's go through the accounts. Let's understand what it means. And that's fed into loads of other things. So when people come to me and go, I'm going to go out, I'm an employee maybe, and they go, I'm going to go out on my own. I'm like, amazing. Let's have a look at what you're going to do. What do you need to do? And the number of businesses I've seen that are absolutely flying because they took that gamble. Now, I'd love to be part of that. And there's ones where they have come to me and go, I'm going to go do this. And it's like, are you sure? I think you need to look at this one a little bit differently because what you think you're going to get, I can't see it. But if you go for it, always going to be behind you. I'm going to support everyone all the way because you never know what idea comes out from the bedroom, essentially from like you look at Apple and all the other ones like that. So it's, I just realized that can get cut quite badly what I said just then. What ideas come out of the bedroom?
Would we do that? Would we do that to you, Mike?
But it's...
I was letting it go.
Yeah, I dig myself the hole. But so naturally, so whilst an existing business owner will look at their business over that period of time, it'll be those ones that go, do you know what? I've had enough of being, and a lot of it will come from people being employed. They take the jump and go, I'm going to go on my own this time. I'm going to go and work for myself. I'm going to go do this. Now, we get a lot in January. It was so much that 2 or maybe 3 years ago, I started to put on a new business kind of course.
That's right, I remember that.
I had 12 businesses because they all started in January. I took them all on and I said, hang on a minute, let's all get together because then I can teach you all the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
And I put on a free course just to be able to help those businesses. Now, all of them still trading, still going, still strong, still doing what they wanted to do out of it. So, which is amazing. And so, but that all comes out of January, that sort of fresh leaf of going, do you know what? My employer didn't get me a nice enough Christmas bonus. I'm going to go on my own. Or whatever it is that is the catalyst at that point. It might be that they just got burnt out through being pushed and pushed and pushed. And they go, do you know what? I've decided that I'm going to go make something random.
Yeah.
But why not?
I still finding it odd is that you were starting to say, they got fed up. They were feeling burnt out. Do you know what it's like to be a business owner? The stress. I used to have a full head of hair. No, it's not true. That's not true at all. But it's just a different challenge, isn't it? And Marmite, isn't it? One person's meat is another one's poison.
And sometimes I always say to some people, just try it. Life's short. Try it. You might find that you don't like it and run
Especially the side hustles as well.
Yeah, a lot of people actually don't like to be a business owner. They don't like the pressure, don't like what it brings. Although there's some benefits here, they don't like that side of it. And that's fine. But if you try it, it saves it being, if only I tried it, if only. You never want to have hindsight. Just go with what the best interest. And then if you make a turn and you go, no, actually, I tried it, lost a load of money, I'm going to go back over here.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Then so be it, at least you tried it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know which stage I'm at now.
No. Time to tell.
Yeah, exactly. I've just got 3 different businesses on the go at the moment, and all of them stress me out, but I don't think that'll ever change. Which, incidentally, there's one that I think is a challenging but exciting one that people think of. Myself, very much in this camp. Someone told me, they said a phrase that it's more stressful managing a growing business than it is a failing business. And I went, well, that doesn't make any sense. That's horrible. I went through, gripping on by fingernails through the pandemic with open doors training. It was awful. That's not true. It is the challenge to scale up. I know with visual PR productions that the potential is massive. But to keep going up is a real challenge. And that's where my Christmas is going to be is, okay, how do I then do the next seesaw up and all of that kind of thing? It's just got to be very managed and measured, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the bit when you got your backs against the wall for a business that's struggling, is you just know you got to fight. You just got to get on with it. You got to get some wins. You got to do this. You got to do that. But when things are okay and settled, you go, the pressure's off a little bit. I'll deal with that next week.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, actually, how do I get it to do a level up? How do I take the next step? And you're like, well, I've got to chuck some money. Yeah, but I don't really want to chuck some money in because I went through that period. Yeah, and that's the bit that you psychologically, you always want to know that it's going to be a good outcome by going, I'll feed it that. Is it gonna jump there? No. And so that's the personal battles.
How quickly is it gonna jump there?
Yeah, that's it. You do the personal battles, but then you look around at the business that have taken jumps and leaps of faith and stuff, and actually a load of them are doing really well. Like we've had a few on the show and along the way, and you could just see all of them just making tough decisions but growing as well.
Yeah. We're adamant on the new business that we're not going to go into excessive detail on it.
No, because we've got the episode, haven't we?
Yeah, episode 15 and
actually a lot of it is still completely relevant. Some of the tax rules have changed slightly, but even on that episode, the VAT rules and everything else is all the same. Right. So, we don't need to go over all ground, I don't think.
No, I mean, other than the fact that it is get the idea down as much as you can, then come and speak to you, get that email, got a new idea.
And to be honest, if someone's thinking they might use that time, the downtime to have some thoughts, drop us an email, because I can give you some ideas of like on a spider diagram, you go like the big sections going, right, think about this, think about this, think about this while you're off. So quite often someone will come to me and go, I've got these ideas. All right, brilliant. Go back and think of these bits and then let's catch up for a coffee, because I can bring it all together. So if there is anyone that's watching this that does want that, just drop us an email, because I'll give you those bits. Yeah. It's nothing complex. It's not groundbreaking by any means. You could probably go on ChatGPT and it'll all be on there as well. But it's just those sort of tailored ones that then I can work with.
Yeah, and then that's the foundation of the conversation. No, that makes absolute sense. Equally, the ability to break down the different revenue streams and have a look at what's working, what's not working, or what could work if we did X, Y, Z.
I think that's a really interesting one, because so many businesses, it doesn't just make a widget in one way, and that's it. It just comes through, one bit of production goes out. If it's one item being produced, there's lots of different stages. So there's cost centers there that need to be looked at. It might be transport in, transport out. But for most businesses, so like for us, we've got a bookkeeping, we've got some software, we've got some accounts, some tax, some consult. So within our business, we've got loads. So you need to look at sometimes you need to look at all of them and go, are they completely separate? Could you do one bit on its own, or is it connected to these bits? And actually then work out what of those ones are they working? Because quite often you'll just be doing it because you've always done it and because you've needed to chase the turnover. But actually they use up your time and they don't generate anything. And if there's no other benefits, like the opportunity costs and benefits for it, then why?
Yeah, and some of them, I think a very common one is that's a legacy. That was there right back then, and you're like, well, that's going to stay there. But everything else has evolved, and you're still doing this legacy. But
the best bit about a small business, you can do a handbrake turn at any point and change direction.
It's not turning the QE2 in the corpse.
Exactly. You look at in COVID, the number of businesses, little businesses that changed overnight, how they worked. The new ideas that came out, the adapting to new processes,
reduction of costs,
just everything just changed, and so it's kind of going, nothing's set in stone. Things can change. You can do things in a different way. I have quite a few little light bulb moments myself here.
I like it.
The room's getting brighter each time. But it's just looking at those, and it might be, say, a bar. Different drinks, like types of drinks that are more.
I knew we'd get back onto drinks.
Yeah, we'll get it there eventually. We took a momentary detour to the sensible stuff, but like it might be that sort of like different drinks or foods or types of food or opening times. They're all different types of revenue stream of a business that typically is a food and drink led pub. Yeah, but there's different times, different days, different things, and it doesn't have to get to the minutiae of the detail. But you might be like with someone I'm working with now, they've just Wednesdays don't work. So they've just looked at they've broken it down daily and by bar, and they worked out Wednesdays just don't work. However hard they try, it just doesn't work. Right. So that's been isolated in that. And then but you can do it all from, like I say, the business owner has a gut feel for how their business is. keep using that to go, right, actually, if I was being honest with myself, and that's the bit that's hard to start with, is to actually go, let's be honest. Let's think of it from the outside in. What's working? What's really good? Because what's really good needs to keep driving. What can you do more with that?
Yeah.
And it's things like, and what's not working, right? However, don't just focus on here, because it might take you 50% of your time in January, say, to fix this bit.
Yeah.
But actually, the benefit of that is small. If you focus on the one that's doing really well and put 50% of your time in, that might grow exponentially more.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, being honest with yourself and just stepping back.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was, because there was a thing that came up from the war where they had the diagram of the bottom of the planes and showing where all the bullet holes were.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, right, so we need to focus on protecting that area. And they go, no. We need to protect everywhere else, because those bits were already safely taken.
Yeah, we can see that it came back. Yeah.
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 And I think whether that's true, it remains to be seen, but you kind of get that
the
principle.
idea's right, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, don't necessarily flog a dead horse. Be honest with yourself, and you're right, that might be difficult. And equally, it might not be a physical change. There can be a messaging change can make all the difference. I can talk about from our experiences that one that came up that is still us doing what we do here with the video content, whether it's the studio, whether it's remote, whether it's on-site, whatever. We suddenly were doing training video content for people. Well, that wasn't what I created Visual PR Productions to do. It was about bringing public relations and relationships to life. But yeah, it's still conversational the way we do it for training content. Induction videos. We're like, yeah, that isn't changing what we do, but it's changing the messaging.
And that's what, again, small business, a customer comes, can you do this? Absolutely. I'll work out how I'm going to do that in a minute, right? But again, that's the joy of being a bit small business, going, actually, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Richard Branson had a great book, Screw It, Just Do It. It's such a good book and really encourages you how to sort of take a nucleus of an idea and go and work out how to do it. Say yes and go and work out how to do it. And I think that's such a, the British way and let's crack on.
Yeah.
So I think that, that makes sense why that people kind of have that confidence once they're not exhausted, they're not preoccupied. And I think it's a great opportunity to do. I reckon there's going to be also a lot of musings about things like mergers and acquisitions. We've talked about this before. A lot of the stuff that's come out with the budgets that suddenly makes it standalone quite difficult, but actually this complementary business coming together.
And I think it's the two single person business owners coming together, so they got someone else to work with to go through the difficult times. But also, how reduce some of your biggest costs. It could be an overlap of certain cost centres of staff, buildings, software. You can bring it together, and actually by being together, you're bigger.
Yes. Well, increasing capacity. I always remember a story you told me, and I'll try and say this without giving anything away, but was about they had a target of this. And you went, okay, so the fee paid per customer is this. So you'd need this many, but there's a capacity of that many. And it was, oh my God, yeah, good point. I hadn't thought about that. And it's like, right, either no and readjust your thinking, including what your costs are therefore going to be, or this needs to be achieved in a different way.
Yeah. Another revenue stream, something else.
Because that was a condition, not an objection. That was a condition that could not be changed.
Yeah, that was it. And it might be that you have to run two businesses to get what you needed at the bottom for financially. One might not do it. One might help another one out. So it's like 2 3/4 businesses or something like that. Like, it's just that sort of changing things up, being adaptable.
Weird tangent, but it is relevant.
I saw the light bulb.
You did. It not fully a light bulb, but it was one of the things that came up that did have an impact for me, is the associated companies. What's that now? 2-3 years ago that came in, that suddenly splits the threshold for corporation
tax. So yeah, so that
between two, three, four businesses, whatever.
However, interestingly, a conversation I had with someone is that they wanted to use different brands, but you could still have it connected to the one company. So you could have, so like we are, everyone knows us as Optimum, but that's not our official titles.
No.
But you could have Mike Blaken Limited and have one brand, 2 brand, 3 brand, 4. So you can use all the separate logos, separate revenue, but it all comes into here. The bank account is this company,
yes.
But you can have all that. So actually, where I've been working with a new client a couple, 2-3 weeks ago, it was like, I want to be called this, I want this one and this one. I was like, well, that's 3 businesses, that's 3 companies for tax, that's 3 lots for me.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 accountancy fees.
But you don't need to pay that. If what you're after is just having the brand names, the website names, and all bits like that, you can have them all under their own thing that funnel into one company. And as long as on those brands it says trading is a trading name of such and such limited.
Well, I have it. Visual PR Limited is my company, and then I've got Open Doors Training,
and it all
Chris
funnels
Doors
into
Comms, which is my media work. It funnels in. Again, I'm trying not to go down a rabbit hole here, but it's these exciting things that I start then thinking this once I'm sat with me pad over Christmas is cool, but in the future, if one of those businesses was being, approached for acquisition, the others should be nothing to do with that.
Yeah. So if that's one of the end games you think is quite likely, then a separate business is nicer because it's clean. It's in its own little box.
But I guess there's a time. It doesn't have to be from day one.
No, you can move it out. If you go, actually, we'll see how it goes for now. But in 10 years, I'm going to sell it. 5 years, you might start that transition into its own one.
Just sorry, on that basis, could that be, I might sell it? So I'm not saying I'm definitely going to, but it could be.
Yeah. So I think, again, it's going to come down to the likelihood, and we'll sit with the client to understand what the likely outcome is. But most of the time, a business won't sell.
No.
Because it's too heavily involved around the owner. So actually make it easier, make it simpler. The softwares nowadays, you can track which business it is. So you can have business trading 1, trading star 2, trading star 3. So you can even run a profit and loss off for each one. So you can track it all. So if someone was to come and you would go suddenly out of the blue, it went really well, and tomorrow somebody came along and wanted to buy this bit, right? Because if you've got good bookkeeping, good control, you can just go, here's what it does. And you could check that. You can go, right, let's check these customer invoices to make sure the revenue's there. Let's check the costs. How do we do this? Right. That's still okay. So someone could still do that. It's not as clean cut because it's not in its own box.
Just more due diligence
but
then.
But it doesn't mean it's not possible. And actually the savings in all that time of single companies, less tax, hopefully, less accountancy fees, less software fees, less insurance fees, all that. The benefit might be in that actually we'll run that risk because it's okay to have it in that one business. And it's also like, unfortunately, not all these new ideas take off. So if you can have it in its own little thing, just ticking along here with the other businesses, it just dilutes its risk. There's 2 sides to it actually. It dilutes its risk that there's a lot to do to close it down. It increases its risk if it is a poor business that runs up debt, because actually it's going to bring the other good trades into it. Absolutely. So again, it's whether it's seen as a risk, because actually having it under that one bit could put the others at risk.
Yes.
So again, we got to sit with you and understand it a bit more and talk it through. But have the idea first.
I was about to say, I think
just
have
these
go wild.
Yeah, just come up with these things, like do it as an experiment nearly. Go like, what would I do if I had a clean slate? What would I do?
Yeah.
And then you go, right, that's what I would do if I got all my knowledge of up to now and I had a clean slate. I would set it up like this, right? After time, you can still do that with a couple of changes. Some of the changes are harsh that you just got to put on your big boy pants and go, let's deal with it. Other ones are actually you look at it and go, that's really easy to change that and get to this bit if this is what's key. And it's all those things that just come out from this December, January time And I love it. I really do enjoy, coming into January, which is chaos for us because it's the end of tax season, but having all these new people coming up going, I've come up with this idea. I'm like, come on in, let's have a coffee. I want to hear about it. This is amazing.
I bet it must be quite cool.
And they are all really exciting. And I like to feed off the back of the energy of someone going, I've got this new idea.
Time, isn't it? Yeah.
It's fun.
I love it. I think that really is the mantra that we're getting at here is go for it. Get those things thought about, get them down. Don't feel you're making the commitment or taking the risk right now. But get rid of that what if and have that conversation.
Like you say, half of them are just side hustles to start with, just little bits here.
And whilst, yes, we've done a lot on the new business ideas, hopefully we've done justice to existing businesses about what's working and could go even bigger, what's not working and either needs to be done this to improve or, heaven forbid, cut the head off the snake, whatever it might be. Have those thoughts, but don't feel... I mean, I almost would be like encouraging not to come to an answer over that Christmas period, is get all those thoughts collated, then come and speak to yourself. Yeah. So grab those pads. Both of us now use the electronic versions.
However, I've lost my pen.
No way.
Yeah, but the kids found it. I put it on the side, and it's not on the side.
Oh no. Okay, back to paper and pen. Yep. Get it noted down, get it thought about, grab that glass of whatever your favourite drink is in hand, and just relax. Don't get too serious about it. Allow yourself that freedom that we feel.
Yep.
Even if it is right now, I want to escape from the chaos of that period as well. It's wonderful, but it is exhausting as well. Yep. And just shoot the breeze.
Yeah,
I think that's the reality. Excellent. I'm oddly looking forward to that now. And I'm anticipating I'm going to do this now. Blank pages and brainstorm.
Just doodle. Just see where the pen takes you.
And I think that's, I've actually got my team, tasked with this. 2nd of January, I've said, look, there's no point coming in on just that Friday. I'm going to keep the office shut, but I'm not taking out your holiday. But what I would like you to do is at some point during that, or one of the other days, it's up to them, brainstorm of ideas of things, creative content that we could do for us, for our clients, whatever. And the important thing is for people who haven't necessarily brainstormed is you don't limit it. You get it down. Don't overthink it.
Whatever it is.
It is. Even if it's the craziest thing ever, don't filter it. Get it down because it can be filtered out later, or it could actually, someone else could hear that crazy one and go, well, actually, I had this. If we put those together, we could do that. And because I find people with brainstorming get too restrictive. They analyze, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Just fill the page.
Go for it. Yeah, exactly. So Christmas musings of New Year business plans. Great episode. It's got me festive. It's got me motivated. It's going to enable me to think about an awful lot and get excited about 2026.
Let's get to the Christmas party. Eh?
Exactly. Thank you so much, Mike.
Cheers,
and of
Chris.
course, I personally thank you guys for all of the help that you give my businesses as well. So great for that one. I hope that you have a fabulous festive period. From Visual PR, we wish you Merry Christmas.
From Optimum, the same. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Have a cracking one and get those ideas down and come and speak to the guys afterwards. But for now, until 2026 ourselves, I hope you've enjoyed Optimum Live. We'll see you next time.